Legitimately, one of the most important songs of our lifetime. Good morning, everyone. It's your boy, Joseph Rothschild. Well, we've only got two things to do today, really. We got to do the Twitter thread, and then we got to finish Ace Attorney. So I think Whoa! Oh. Did I just catch you browsing without a VPN? Bro, don't you know that your data is not encrypted? Folks, when you're online, it pays to be proactive. Take it from me, a person who had their Twitter hacked and also their internet throttled every single day over the course of 9 months by their ISP. An ISP that I am no longer with, and I won't name for liability reasons, but let's just say it rhymed with Blectrum Blinternet. Anyway, my VPN of choice when I am looking to protect my data online is NordVPN. And of course, you can also use my individualized sign-up link to get a sick discount on a 2-year subscription by typing !Nord into the chat and following the link. Folks, you would be a fool not to take this deal. It's a deal so good that, you know what, actually I didn't do this. Last time I got to say that I canceled my current Nord subscription to take advantage of my own deal. Can't do that this time because I am still locked in on my old deal that I canceled last time. So it's a deal equivalent to the deal that I previously canceled my Nord subscription to take advantage of. Anyway, let's see what's happening on Twitter. Pretty much nothing. Let's see what we got. Not a damn thing. Oh, here we go. Senator Ted Cruz is feuding with another Sesame Street Muppet. Let's go. All right, come on. Let's get your bets in now. Who is it? Is it Elmo? Is it Gonzo? Gonzo's Jim Henson's the Muppets Muppet, right? So is it Abby? Is it Cookie Monster? I'm gonna say Cookie Monster. All right. Elmo. It is Elmo. It's Elmo. Wow, that's crazy. That's fucked up. What? Oh, he got the Biden COVID vaccine. Wow, that's crazy. So the man is beefed with Big Bird. He's beefed with Elmo. I'm telling you, Cookie Monster's next. The stupid idiot's perspective is that the next one is actually, what's it called? Gonna be Oscar, but I think it's Cookie Monster for sure. All right. Oh, Rebby just posted. Congratulations, you received a community reward. You've been awarded by others for sharing items with the Steam community. You received an award, Wholesome. That's right. Rebby is Wholesome Big Chungus 100 because she won't stop posting screenshots from Genshin Impact. I actually don't know how you get this. How do you get this? You have to post a bunch of screenshots, right? Regardless. While we're on the topic of Rebby, we did Mercs Cast 2 yesterday for the benefit of, I think Trans Lifeline is who we were fucking around for. I was going to say who we played for, but we didn't really play much of anything. And it was a gay old time. I believe the VOD has expired, so if you missed it, you missed it. But it was a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun. We got pretty far out there. It's some shit that I would not repeat if I knew there was going to be a VOD. The highlight for me was Danny doing the Tinder story. What's your favorite Mercs color? Red, blue, or green? You know I'm a blue boy. We got any Andes in the chat? That's a good question. Where does Mercs Cast go up? It's like Mercs Merc's cast doesn't go up with any sort of regularity. It's like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's available for a distressingly short period of time. All right, let's do the Twitter thread. I'm going to get my glasses on. Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT. Time for another Twitter thread. That's right, another Twitter thread. We are just going to keep doing these until the sun explodes. Today we're talking about a weird part of Yu-Gi-Oh! We all know the game, we all know the intricacies and the mechanics, we all have read at least 3 cards, but one thing you might not be as familiar with is the market surrounding it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards can get very expensive, and because of that there's a lot of money to be made by buying low and selling high. That said, individuals whose entire job is buying low and selling high aren't always the best at it. And as a result, we have some buyouts today that were very ill-informed. Now, if you're unfamiliar, a buyout is when someone with a huge amount of money buys every single copy of a card on trading websites like eBay and TCG Player, thereby driving the price way up so they can then offload the card for a lot of money when they arrive. Now, this only works if the card is actually playable and there's demand for it. So, the following. So the one that I posted was Snake Rain. Snake Rain has been bought out, I want to say like 10 or 15 times over the course of its lifespan. Maybe the most bought out card in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. And you can see why just by reading the text on it. This is theoretically 5 foolish burials. In a format that's absolutely dominated by Chaos Ruler, it's not hard to see that choosing the cards you're sending might be a little more powerful. There's only one problem. Konami has never printed a good reptile archetype. And as a result, every time a new reptile archetype is spoiled, Snake Rain shoots way up, it's absolutely vanished from markets, and then 3 or 4 days later they come crawling back on their lack of hands and knees. This one could, theoretically go up. Special mention to this little goofer who got bought out to the moon back years before Hulk was ever revealed. Little did people know it would be another 3 years before we ever got it in the TCG, and by then Wonder Magician was a bulk holo in BLRR. Wonder Magician makes sense as a card to buy out. There's not a lot of other cards that do exactly what they do, and it has a pretty clear parallel in a playable card in Formula Synchron. That said, no. It was awful. Despite commanding a huge price tag and vanishing from TCG Player a couple of times over the course of its lifespan, it wasn't playable until you could Scythe Lock, and by that point we had the common. These aren't really buyouts as much as they were actually expensive cards. I mean, Garnet was $19 because it was very playable.
Hi.
Hi, what's up?
I'm going to finish my book now, so I don't read it tonight, and then I won't get scared again. Can I tell Chad about this?
Yeah, sure.
So, my hair's wet because I just took a shower. It's not greasy. I'm not a greasy gamer with greasy gamer hair. So I started reading a book not last night but the night before, and it was really good, but I'm not supposed to read too late at night, and I'm not supposed to read in bed. I have a lot of sleep issues, and it just hypes me up and then makes it hard to sleep. However, last night I did both those things, and I didn't take a shower at night, which also helps me sleep, and I stayed up reading till like 12:30 in the morning, and then I had a panic attack because the book it was a little scary, and I was reading it in bed so that I couldn't calm down in bed because that's where the scary book was. But it was very good, so I'm going to finish it right now, and then fold the laundry, and then that means tonight I will not read the scary book, and I will, have the laundry done.
Have fun.
This is the most Chilean problem.
It is. Okay.
Yes. I love you.
Love you too. When Scrap Raptor first came out, this card shot extremely high. Now, this one is pretty understandable. Scrap Raptor was a card that was enabled to buy Scrap Chimera almost specifically. The card had one printing, and it was a medium-high rarity. It went overnight from about a 25-cent card to a $30 one, as speculators brought out the entire stock. The problem was, why do you think that Konami wouldn't just reprint this in an OTS? If they're printing a card like Scrap Raptor, they're going to try and make Chimera available. And they did. What hype train for this? MCole 40 used to do the Kraken Watch portion on at the end of every MCole video about the market. He would occasionally do this thing called Kraken Watch, where we would just check the price on Fright for Kraken. This card has been bought out maybe 20 times. It's actually shocking how frequently it just absolutely disappears from the market. It's like absolutely necessary for Fluffle decks and nothing else. So, I don't know. Maybe banking on the fact that Fluffle's good? I don't remember this one, so I can't speak to it. Half Miss says, I actually was a victim of this one. When we first saw Auroradon, there was a lot of theory for Hamstrat because of semi-obvious reasons. Yeah, if you've never played Phantom Beasts, Hamstrat was one of the really good ones. So hearing that there was a playable Phantom Beast card, of course you would go, oh, let me just buy out the best Mecha Phantom Beast. Obviously, that ended up not being important. The ultra rare of this spiked, and it turns out it was actually just straight up worse than Coltwing and O-Lion. Coder says, the day Aromaseraphine Jasmine got announced, this card was bought out because it was part of this crazy consistent plant FTK combo. Went from 50 cents to $20 a copy because it had a single print. Anyway, it got banned before Jasmine came out, so it never got to see play. Cool. Cosmo Dark When this card first released, people thought it was going to be a top-tier deck, and it caused it to spike into the 100 to 200 range easily. And they were right. The card was highly sought after and bought out in preparation, only to be hit with the fact that Pepe was about to be the real top-tier deck. Well, that's not true. Unless you mean, like, Cosmo was good for, like, a year after that, on the back of this card specifically. The top tier deck that format was probably PK Fire. That's late in that format, though. Pepe lasted like a week, yeah. Oh, here's what I'm responsible for. Skyhawk jumped onto my channel one week to talk about playing Gilasaurus and Dinosaur, and his speech was so moving that people immediately bought out this card, which actually only has 2 or 3 printings. The card remained like a $5 common for a little while, but I think it has gone back down since. Well, okay. People are confusing pre-sales with buyouts here. Like a week after Splight was unveiled, people went, wait, we can make Gigantic Splight a 7,200 attack beater, and spiked Cat Shark up to $20 because it only had 1 printing. Yeah, I'm not going to be playing Cat Shark and Splight. I've got better stuff to do with my time. Where the fuck is this card's nose? Wait a minute. This is another pre-sale. Grave of the Super Agent Organism has been bought out a couple of times. It's a floodgate with a very strange effect, and if anyone ever sniffs out that it's meta-relevant, basically all copies disappear immediately just because there's nothing that can really fill the same niche. Farfa recently posted a BA build that includes this card, so it is once again over $15. You can get a $10 one if you are fine with it being chewed on. Ah, and we have reached the funniest one, Ancient Leaf. Ancient Leaf is a common card that's not worth the stock that it's printed on, but for a short period of time it was about $10. Why? Well, a Twitter egg account showed up and claimed that Master Rule 5 was coming. There were a ton of changes designed to slow the game down. Chief among them was that we were going to start with 12,000 life points. For some reason, we were going to start with 12,000, and Konami was not going to ban an equivalent card to Pot of Greed. Why people fell for this, I don't understand. Anyway, I have a playset of this card. Oh my god. Okay, I understand why this card was bought out. Warrior of Atlantis only has 2 printings. One's in a structure and one's in Force of the Breaker. It is a really easy way to search a Legendary Ocean. But, I mean, the deck that plays it is not going to be meta relevant, and it's already got a ton of search capability. This is not going to be the card that makes or breaks the archetype, and it definitely doesn't need to be worth $15. Search what? Oh, you know, a legendary... Oh! Power Sync Stone is frequently bought out. Each time a monster effect is activated, place a Spellstone counter on this card. While this card has 2 Spellstone counters, face-up monsters on the field cannot activate their effects, and their effects are negated. During each end phase, remove all Spellstone counters on this card. So theoretically, flipping this card and then immediately firing 2 monster effects will prevent your opponent from activating their own monster effects and negating the monster effects that your opponent activates on field. Right? Now, that said, it doesn't really work out in practice. It's just not nearly as good as it reads on paper. But it got bought out the first time because you can use Beatrice to send a monster with an on-send to graveyard effect and immediately proc it to 2 in your opponent's draw phase. Then they're wiped, play passes back to you, and you can do your full combo. Chaos, this is a crazy good card. Arceon, thank you for the sub, or for the 3. Lot of buyouts as a result of Master Rule 4. So when Master Rule 4 came out, there was the announcement of the Extra Monster Zone, which was the only zone in which monsters from the extra deck could be placed. At the time, there was no indication that there would be an additional zone on the field, so we all kind of expected it would just be a main monster zone. For that reason, all of the cards that prevent your opponent from using a monster zone shot way the hell up overnight. They were almost universally bought out. Among them are Zany Zebra, which allows you to blank 1 unused monster zone, and Senate Switch, which allows you to switch monsters from one monster zone to another, thereby freeing up your EMZ. Of course, Konami would later errata most of these cards to say main monster zone, thereby nullifying all of the buyouts. Oh, this is a great one. So, Lunalight Fusion is an impressively good card. If your opponent controls a monster that was summoned from the extra deck, like Shaddoll Fusion, you can use a Lunalight monster from your deck as material for a Lunalight Fusion. This card was bought out overnight after a Lunalight deck topped a YCS. The only problem? The deck was not playing Fusion. It was literally just people saw the word Lunalight on a top 16 sheet, went to TCG Player, picked the most powerful looking Lunalight card in a vacuum, and bought it out, only to later realize it was one of the few Lunalights that was not being played. Amazing buyout. I don't think Scout Buggy's fair. This is a pre-sale thing. Ah. Well, this one is interesting. So, Spell Chronicle has a card effect that is almost impossible to parse. Because it does something so foreign to Yu-Gi-Oh!, it is actually really hard to tell if it is good or not. Community consensus is that it's not good even remotely, except for a couple of really niche applications in decks like Witchcrafter. But almost a decade ago at this point, a group of Yu-Gi-Tubers and pro players thought it would be interesting to see if they could stage a buyout. There was a lot of on-the-ground grassroots movements dedicated to basically convincing players that an unplayable card was playable to see if they could affect the price of it. And in fact, they could. This card did get pretty expensive before pretty much everyone figured out that it was all a huge ruse. Xyz Encore has been bought out a couple of times, but I would push back on the concept that it was poorly informed. Grizz says during Zoo format, this card got bought out. During Zoo format, this card got bought out, and I'm sorry, but it was complete cope. It was probably not great in Zoo format, but Zoo format was a format that was composed of a bunch of side deck staples that all had the same text on them. They all said, your opponent's Trident doesn't matter this turn. And this is a card that says your opponent's Trident doesn't matter this turn. This card has been playable a couple of times, notably in Dragon Ruler format as a way for Dragon Ruler to beat Resolved Ophion, and also in Rongo Bongo format as a way to prevent that idiot from preventing you from special summoning. Gotta be Masterpiece for me. Oh my god. Every time we get remotely close to a ban list date, this card vanishes from TCG Player and reappears $10 more expensive. Even if they unban this card, the boy is not going to be good. Around 2016, when Monarch and PK Fire were both played, both decks could do a cute play and summon Sphere of Chaos to search any level 3 hand trap. Note that I said cute play, not good play. It was a meme buyout and did not last long, but imagine spending money on this card. Ghost Fairy Elphobia. When Flunder was announced, this thing was described as a spicy tech. Once per turn, you can reveal a wind monster in your hand. Until the end of your opponent's next main phase 1, monsters with a level higher than the revealed monster cannot activate their effects. What the hell does this do? You have to open map plus a bird plus this card in order to get any value out of it, and all it does is blank, what, Ash specifically in a hand that already has map and therefore shouldn't care about it? Went to $7 here, but tanked quickly. Oh. So when B Trooper was even remotely playable, most of the like Doomdozer style insect extenders did get bought out, and Zectopede only has like 1 or 2 printings, so it was an easy target. Unfortunately, they printed a tribal one as a common immediately after it would have been relevant. Context, in Coder Court, I've been telling everyone to buy as many of this card as they can. It was 2 cents and each of us bought thousands of it for $20. It's gonna be a good card in splites. Not game-breaking, but still decent. It's now 10 cents, so we've doubled profit. We'll see. Yup. So Engraver of the Mark, anytime any card designates anything, gets bought out. It has been bought out, I want to say like 5 or 6 times. Most recently it was bought out because Crossout Designator was revealed. This card was expected to be very good in the TCG, and it is quite strong, but not good enough that you need to be boarding an Engraver of the Mark to force your opponent to declare a different card name. That's just ridiculous. Oh no. This was actually a really smart buyout, whoever did this. See you in 2 formats. The modern day version of the Spell Chronicle thing is Pack gaslighting everyone into thinking that Predaplant was good. I guess that Predaplant has been played at events, but I think it's got like 2 total tops, making it the 19th best deck below Libromancer. No, Teresia makes sense. Gravity Collapse is a counter trap card that, if you have a Synchro Monster on your side of the field, allows you to send a Synchro Monster you control to the graveyard to prevent the summon of an opponent's monster and lock them out of summons until their end phase. This card actually spiked because of a Dezif video, I believe, in which he lobbied for it as an interesting card to board in the Sword Soul mirror. Oh, Summoning Curse was bought out during Necroz's BA format as a way to beat BA. The idea is like, oh my god, they summon so many monsters, they'll lose all their life points. No. No, they won't. Glory of the Noble Knights was bought out after the Infernobles were announced, and then it was never played. Oh, yeah, this was an ill-informed one. Back when artifacts were first announced and everyone started fearing Hat, people brought binders full of this card to events to offload. Timidity. Neither player can destroy set, spell, and trap cards on the field until your opponent's next end phase. Ugh. I've seen some dog cards get bought out. Best ones that come to mind are Chronomaly Nebrodisk. Yep, this card was expected to be very good because Chronomalies were decent in the OCG, but we got Nebrodisk like 5 years later, and as a result, the deck had just been crept. And Venatus of the Nordic Ascendant, which was a very powerful normal summon for the Nordic archetype, but of course was not enough to push it into competitive viability. Nebrodisk peaked around $20 USD, and Venatus was a $40 card. That's terrible. Another Master Rule 4 buyout. Ground Collapse allows you to select 2 monster zones on the field. The errata, I believe, says select 2 main monster zones. The prices you see here are, this isn't a buyout, but it's interesting. The prices you see here are Fire and Geek Boy the day after I got second in the CSM with them. Yup. Alien Kid. Every time there's new Alien support, it's up and down every week. Yeah, Alien Kid would be a very powerful card in an Alien deck, which means that it's, you know, it makes sense as a buyout target, but in reality, the Alien deck is never going to accomplish anything. The lack of reading comprehension. Remember when Small World became relevant when people realized they could just search anything? Well, as a result of that, a buy site where a capital I looked a little like a minuscule I on the website led to a one platform buyout of Smile World. Imagine being the like speculator who found that. Oh my god, this card is only 3 cents? Whoo! You'd be a fool not to buy 50,000. I'm pretty sure that Rare Fish bought out? I imagine. Rare Fish is one of those buyouts that actually does kind of make sense. There is not another card that fulfills this slot in like Shark as an instant fusion target. Malaya of the Trees is part of a combo in Punk Therion that you make if you are absolutely losing the game in every conceivable universe. And as a result, it was bought out as soon as that deck was deigned to be playable. But that deck has pretty much fallen completely off the map, and Melai has been cut from a lot of extras because it's not super powerful. Every once in a while, someone hits buy and a single Evil Twin or Live Twin card doubles in price overnight. Each card has had its own time, and they are all completely separate. No one knows why it happened. It just happened. Oh, man. So Light's Hexield Fusion is a monster that allows you to substitute this card for any one fusion material monster, but the other fusion material must be correct. And on field, you contribute it to fusion summon a light fusion monster from your extra deck. This card was bought out because people were day one labbing combos with branded fusion that allowed you to make Dragoon. Turns out the best thing you could make off of branded fusion are the branded monsters, but YouTube combo theorists were not going to have that, and as a result, speculators drove this to, I believe, about $10 before people realized that it sucks. Bylon Cube! Oh, man. Yeah, this one was terrible. It's hard to describe. This buyout was like maybe orchestrated in part by tubers, but only ironically. It was part of some silly combos in synchro decks as a way to make like Herald and then search and equip spell that you could then get some use out of in Infernoble or something like that. But it is just not even remotely good. Real. This was an exceptionally funny one. Access code Talker was speculated to be in the 2021 tins. People panicked sold, and it was way low. Then, when the tin spoiler was revealed and access code Talker was not in it, it was bought out overnight and became like a $180 card, only for Konami to turn around 4 days later and reveal it was in Mago. It was just the most crazy weekend of turnaround on an individual card I think I've ever seen. Earthbound Immortal Kakurua was bought out at the start of 2016. Became a $100 card because they printed Dragonic Diagram. People were like, no, you can use Dia to destroy this card, to destroy all cards on the field, at a time when Dark Hole was legal. This is a pre-sale. Thunder Seahorse is bought out every time a Thunder deck is revealed. You can discard this card to add 2 level 4 light Thunder-type monsters of the same name with 1600 or less attack from your deck to your hand. This one was most recently bought out when the Thunder Dragon support came out, only for people to realize it is maybe the only Thunder Dragon-looking monster that you can't play in that archetype. Aloof Lupine. No, this card was really playable. Max is a pre-sales thing. So, before Dragoon came out, Predaplant and Verte Anaconda did absolutely nothing to the larger metagame. Until one weekend in which an Invoked pilot started playing a small Neos fusion package with Rainbow Neos. Almost overnight, every single copy of this card, which comes in Ghost Rare, by the way, was removed from TCG Player as people prepared to find the only playable fusion monster until Dragoon was revealed. Happy Pride. Ugh. He's not Pankratops, folks. Yeah, that's a reasonable one. That is a reasonable one. This card had a huge buyout because of the progression series. Oh, that's so funny. The concept that this card was bought out so that people could get Alex engaged to sign them at events. $15 rare for a month until people realized it was only good in Shadow. Just not true. Oh, maybe the funniest story of a buyout. So Adamancipator was revealed and found out to be extremely good. People were super excited to play the deck, and as a result, speculators had to pick one card to absolutely ruin. Right before the deck was going to start being played, they purchased out every single copy of Adamancipator Risen Leonite. Now, in their defense, this card was expected to be short printed, but it is one of those weird, beautiful moments in which both the price speculators and Konami have no idea what they're doing. Adamancipator Risen Leonite is the only Adamancipator that is not playable. There's like 7 potential buyout targets, and they whiffed them all. This was a $40 card, despite seeing 0 play because no copies of it were available. Unfortunately, after a couple of weekends, they course-corrected and bought out Researcher, which remained a $90 card for almost the entirety of its lifespan. The $200 common. Witch's Strike is brought out anytime it ever appears in a ban list. The idea is that if your opponent ever negates something during a format, this card wins you the game on the spot, but in reality, no, it doesn't. Oh, yeah. Gizmek Uka, the Festive Fox of Fecundity, and Barrier Statue of the Torrent were both subject to buyouts around the same time because a pro player used it as a way to summon, when they summon Hauk, this card, locking them into a water tuner. It was an atrocious tech, but people did play it. Breath of Light says destroy all face-up rock-type monsters on the field. This card is immensely difficult to find already, so it didn't take much to buy it out. An Overdrive Teleporter gets bought out every time a new Psychic type is revealed. It has not yet been playable through Virtual World or Punk, but someday its day will come. I'm looking. Everyone is doing the same ones. I was around for the brief but nonetheless absurd Ravenous Tarantula buyout after a certain YouTuber played it and the other spiders in Flower Cardian. Shit, my bad. There is one other TMT buyout I hope that we get to here. When the Kaijus were first revealed, individuals bought out Owner's Seal and Remove Brainwashing. In reality, the Kaijus were just a really excellent series of removal spells, but some individuals thought that they would be able to potentially win games by stealing the monsters they gave to their opponents back, and then doing what? You can only have one Kaiju anyway. These cards are absolutely, like, functionally identical to just having another Kaiju. In 2013, there was a leak that put Goyo Guardian, currently banned and without errata, to 1. People freaked out and the price climbed to $50 per copy. When the list came out and Goyo was still banned, it plummeted. It could have probably come out in 2013. Oh my god. The reply to this one? You! Fallen of Albaz had a very brief Fallen of Albaz had a very brief buyout because people thought that he wasn't going to be in the branded structure deck. Fun fact, yeah, of course he was. How were you going to summon the fusions without Fallen of Albaz? What are you, stupid? Splight buyouts. Let's go. Yeah. Put a pin in this one. Maybe it'll be good. This is the wrong card. The Weather Painter Cloud was bought out a couple of months ago, and that buyout has stuck for what it's worth. Someone bought like a bunch of this $4 secret, and now it is a $15 card forever. All right, that's it. This is a short one. Good luck, Dyer. All in all, I guess after viewing these... the conclusion we can all come to is that capitalism is the most equitable system of distributing resources. Only the most intelligent, the most hardworking, and the most deserving individuals control the means of production. I'm so happy that people who thought that we needed to buy out a fucking ancient leaf are the ones with the capital to do so. See you next time. You know what? Fuck, I'm doing that entire thing again. I'm doing that entire outro again. Ready? So that's that. I think if there's one takeaway from this video, it's this. Capitalism is the most effective and equitable system of resource distribution possible. Truly, only the most intelligent, the most deserving, and the most hardworking have the capital to stage buyouts. It's the brain geniuses that think Ancient Leaf is going to be tier 0 that deserve to have all the money. See you next time. There you go. That was shit. Go again. Okay, here we go. Fuck you, Dyer. All right, Ace Attorney time. All right, how the fuck am I going to do this?
That was wrong.
Hey, bud, let's play. Thank you for the subscription. I will get back to you on Discord. I promise. What the fuck? I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. There we go. It's been too long, chat. Okay, there we go. Well, chat, here we are at the finale of all things. We are about to enter the last day in court. In the last case. What? There we go. Okay, so where were we? Let me see if I can remember. Okay, we got a pistol, Magnifique's diary, Trucy's locket, the amazing Mr. Hat. There it is. Commemorative stamp. This has atroquinine on it somewhere. Transferal of rights, nail polish, the crime photo, and Magnifique's autopsy report. Okay, we did this already. All right, let's try it out. Magnifique's death. Ask what you will, you'll get nothing from me. Alright, asshole, come on. For 7 long years I have endured. Now finally the curtain lifts on my new golden age. The miracles of our troop within my grasp. Sorry to do this, Volant, but right now I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. I feel like I've already done this. I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this. We show him the transferal of rights. And what might that be? I see it bears the Grand Marnier seal. I should have brought this to your attention sooner, but I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast. What is this? A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magnifique's tricks. He passed everything to his daughter? Trucy. Preposterous. Zack is vanished! This is the genuine article. Zack was alive when he wrote it. Both myself and the notary can testify to this. The notary Spark Brushel. Alright, get one of those out of here. Okay. He shot Magnifique! It was Zack! It was! And then he left, and my career as a magician fell into darkness. Did you think there might be some way out of it? If you could prove Zack shot Magnifique, was that why you testified? Yes! Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Volant. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who killed Magnifique Grand Marnier? Oh, fuck. Well, I know who it is. It was Gavin, but I don't know why. That's not it. How the fuck do I... No, of course not. Not Gavin, sorry. His stupid fucking brother. I think I actually don't have... I don't have this, do I? Chat, I'll... Let me know. Do I have it? No, okay. Let's not waste any more time here. This explains why we stopped here. Okay, so we've just got a couple of these that are still open. Sunshine Coliseum. Actually, we finished none of the ones in the future. Interesting. Alright, let's try the Grand Marnier secret. We might have this one. Trucy's power. Trucy got her power from her mother. I will not speak of that. She's missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. Because you shot her. Okay, we've already done this one, which is why it's loading. Obi-senpai, thank you for the sub. Alright, here we go. So there's someone else other than Trucy. Someone who inherited the power. Oh, fuck. I accidentally hit this one. So Apollo Justice also has the power. You could tell because of his stupid fucking bracelet. There's a link between the boy and Thalassa that's more of a ring. A ring? Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just happen to have evidence showing this missing link. Okay, so I don't have this either, right? Okay. Christ. We've already examined everything. There's nothing left to examine. And we can't break this one. Oh my god, why did I click this cutscene? Jesus. Spark, tell me you know something. Sometimes life just sucks. I gotta agree. Why is this guy pointing? Okay, we've done this. Oh my god. God. I love Spark Brushel. He is so great. The 3 paintings. The coffee. I guess that's it. Oh, we could check the letterbox, the door outside. Vera might come walking in at any moment if she wasn't in intensive care. And that's it. Damn, that's rough. Okay. Let's check our evidence. Crime photo, autopsy report, notebook page. That's the fake one. The IV report. The chart. The syringe. Whoop. The letter. The letter. The pistol. The diary. The locket. The Amazing Mr. Hat. This is nice. Hello? Huh. That's interesting. I don't think you'll ever get this one because it's a little silly. No, I'm gonna get it right now. Take this, Mr. Hat! Take this, the nail polish! Okay, that didn't help. Take this, Trucy's locket! Sure. I'd never forget his wife, Thalassa Grabarye. Do you think you could tell me more about her? Well, why the heck not? Alright. Thanks, Brushel. You're a Grushel. Married Zach and had Trucy. It was her second marriage, actually. You mean she was divorced? I hadn't heard this one before. Not quite. Her late husband was a performer, too. He died in an accident on stage. Tragic, really. They had only been married 1 year. Oh. Oh. Why do you have this? What does that mean? Thalassa has another child besides Trucy, end quote. But Trucy said she was an only child. Ah, yes, this one she had with her previous husband. Her first husband who died on stage? Yeah, they had themselves a kid. Another orphan now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now. And another child. Do you think I could borrow the photo? Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know? Alright, so we know that it's... We know that it's Apollo. Because we guessed it. Oh, is he leaving? I was just wondering what Magnifi would think of all this. Haven't you seen it in Trucy? She's got his power. It was the same with Magnifi and with his dog. Man, Brushel has been so forthcoming. It's a strange thing. Think it's some Gramarye game? Magnifi told me once. Whoa. He said Zach had good eyes, but not good like a Gramarye's eyes. Not that good. Zach. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. Okay. 3 more, chat. I have never done a 180 on a character like Brushel. Alright, let's go talk to Shady Smith. Alright. The Borscht Bowl Club. Are you dumb fucking bitch? Check this out. I have a picture of your wife! Mr. Zach, could you tell me about this? Oh, that didn't work. How about you, Valant? Nope. Well, there's only one other guy we can talk to. Nothing. I mean, we can't go back to the old ones, can we? They're done. Huh. Well, that was cool, but didn't get us any closer to the truth. All right, we got 2 of these. Let's give them a crack again. 3, come on. The Grammar secret. Blah 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 blah. You don't want to talk about her because you shot her. Up 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 up. Up 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 up. Up 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 up. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. So there's another power. Here we go. It's Apollo. Well, this is the only new thing we have. So let's try it out. Your marriage to Thalassa was her second. Oh, thank God. How did you know this? Her first husband died a year after they were wed, yes? He was a performer. They met when he joined us Grammariers as a guest in our show. After Thalassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you say she had a child. I have a photograph of her here. She has the same stupid thing that I couldn't help notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. The bracelet. They are a Grammarier family heirloom. This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in the picture. So, that's why. Why what? I took this photograph of Thalassa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet. I bet I know where the other one went. She gave it to this boy, her son. All right. Oh, good. For some reason, that counted for 2. Let's go. And all our health is back. All right, let's talk about the Grammarier secret. Now we're getting somewhere, chat. Now we're getting somewhere. This strange power. I myself do not know where it comes from. Yet the fact that it is passed down the Grammarier line, it runs in their veins. What is it? I asked her, Thalassa, once. This is what she told me. She's told me, stop asking about my secret power. Her power responds to tension in others. Okay. Tension. If she were to face a person and they became tense, even slightly, she would know no matter how hard they tried to conceal it, so she could see it. Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. It's a perception. She won't realize that she was subconsciously detecting the tension without the use of a particular object, or in her case, objects, which are the bracelets. Okay. I have made a decision. I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift. Whoa! Okay. Well, I hardly need you to tell me at this point, but those two are brother and sister, yes. The brother, too, has this power. So Trucy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. Mr. Wright, tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. No, he won't. I will not see her live her life without knowing. Okay. I am in your debt, once again. No kidding. What I want to know is how this got to be so messed up. Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth. I see. So they're temperature sensitive. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of their wearer's wrist. It has something to do with the power. What have I told you? Grammarier power reacts to tension in others. When a Grammarier senses tension, they become tense. This tension translates... He's an empath! So minute, they cannot sense it on their own. Their muscles? Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for. With a bracelet on, one can sense the contractions, because the bracelet is always a perfect fit. So when the person they're watching gets tense, the bracelet feels tighter on their wrist, precisely. But that doesn't really count as mind reading. There, it's a question of eyesight. Have you ever heard of kinetic vision? Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity. They say athletes can see a moving ball like it was stopped if they focus. Oh, but it's not confined to sports alone. Okay. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face and the meaning that lies behind it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before they may distract it. So what you're saying is, the Grand Marniers can see really well. For them, seeing is more than believing. It is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus. Okay. So they have to do a ton of drugs. But what if someone could tell you when to focus or something? Right. But Trucy doesn't have any bracelets. You were talking about poker, yes? The timing of when to focus is so elementary, she probably does it without thinking. I doubt Trucy herself has realized this. That is all I know of things Grand Marnier. Zach, you're helpful. I will tell you of that night. The night my mentor, Magnifi, passed from this world to the next. There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was Magnifi's test. In his last years, Magnifi Grand Marnier worked us to the bone, no, to the pain. But that night I could not shoot him, so I shot the clown's forehead instead. This, it seems, was the correct answer. Take this. I give my art to you, Zach. It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zach. Though I would not have minded dying by your hand. How could I shoot you? You're my mentor. Bah! I thought you might say that. If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then? Then, of course, I would have given Volant his chance. And if I had shot you in the forehead instead, then it would be over. If you or Volant were to shoot me in the head, then I to the darkness would go, and my art with me. Fitting end, don't you think? Yet this ending too gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zach. And I am sorry. I have done much that was wrong in my day. It seems that Magnifi wanted you to be his successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Volant's. Perhaps. But it is not something we will ever know for sure. I wonder, what is Volant up to these days? Waiting for you to die. If 7 years pass, the performance rights go to him. Ah. And now here I am, and his dream is ended. It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know? You don't mean to tell me they've put the blame for our mentor's death on him? Yes, you asshole! Well, seems that before I can once again disappear, I have one more act to perform. Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated, even though I'm dead? What is he going to do for Volant? Wow, it is really unfortunate that he got fucking killed. He wrote a lie! He wrote a lie! 7 years passed. I, Zach Grand Marnier, murdered my mentor. I apologize for the trouble caused by my sudden departure from court, and hereby confess to my crime. This is the nicest dude in the history of time. We're not doing this, though. We're not going to show this in court. All right, 2 left. We've got the material. Volant, I got one more thing I want to talk to you about. Dawn Fuckler. Okay, this part we've already done. Here's the transferal of rights document. I feel so bad for Volant. When I thought he had done it, I was like, what a crafty little fucker. But he is really just caught up in this. I'm so sorry. He shot... It was Zach. And then he left. Did you think there might be some way out of it? Was that why you testified? Yes! Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Volant. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who killed him? Well, guess what, asshole? It's not this guy, but I have his confession. I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Zach Grammarrier wrote one more thing before passing on. This is a confession in which he admits to the killing of Magnifique Grammarrier. See? All according to your plan. I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. Oh, no. Now I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself. Zach wrote this right in front of me after I explained your situation to him. Alakazomg. Awful. You do know that this confession is nothing but lies? Yes, it's my opinion that Zach killed no one. Then you must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. Two received instructions to kill, but if one is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. So he vanished to protect me, his partner. Ha. A stirring tale, 'tis true. Did you shoot Magnifique Grammarrier in the forehead? If I had and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will. There is nothing left from me now. It is true, after all. I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magnifique's repertoire. It was as if a little demon grabbed hold of me. So Volant did kill him? Heh. So sorry, Mr. Wright, but it was not... Oh, shit. But if it wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there? I don't know. Knack and talent, Grammarrier? Your wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zach and Volant received those threatening letters. But there was another. One more person could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you figured it out by now. Who the fuck could it have been? He shot himself? Yes, the great Magnifique himself. So Magnifique committed suicide? You find it hard to believe? To be honest, yes! When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. Seeking Snorlax, thank you for the sub. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him. But when I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me. So you spoke with Magnifique? Yes, and this is why I knew what he had done. Magnifique transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner Zach, not me. See. And I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it. You owe me no apology. My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder. Oh, is this the thing that he dangled over their heads? You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. There are no secrets between partners. It was easy to find out. That was when I understood his plan. He wanted to die by one of your hands. Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. The little demon whispering inside my heart. Let me confess, I had intended to shoot Magnifique, and I planned on framing my partner for the crime. That night, I prepared something before going to his hospital room. IV fluid, right. If Zach did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then I would use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan. But you didn't shoot him. I could not. Then Magnifique called me back. I'm sorry, Volant. I'm giving my magic to Zach, not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please help him if you can. I left the room, and then I stopped. The shock of what I had just been told consumed me. That is when I heard that fateful gunshot. Wow. And the demon awoke anew within me. Zach killed him. He was the one. Frame him and the magic will be yours. I altered the scene of his suicide. I took the pistol from his hand, wiped the prints, then I used the syringe to add the IV liquid I'd brought. So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. He died and you framed Zach for his murder. As planned, indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I had anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed truly? That you're a fucking asshole. I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Volant. Thank you. It is I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision. You're going to turn yourself in? My partner may have vanished, but not my guilt. And as my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts. Oh, no. What is he gonna turn himself in for? Both these people are trying to confess to the same fucking crime! And now it occurs to me. What if he was not the only one who survived? You see, now that I think about it, I realize that we never saw proof of Thalassa's demise. We never saw her body. The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies. Oh boy. All right, last one. Here we go. I feel so bad for the piss wizard. Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied. I see. While he's gone, let's grab this envelope. All right, here we go. Piss, envelope, piss, envelope, piss, envelope, piss, envelope, piss, envelope. If this is the last letter that Drew Misham wrote, then there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here goes. Let's see if this atroquinine spray finds anything. Got it. It's glowing like a fucking... So this was Misham's messenger of death. It was the stamp. No mistaking it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. The interview request came like you said it would, and they're looking into the case. I swear on my life I won't tell them about you. So please release the spell you've put on my daughter. Hi, Gavin. I didn't know you moonlighted in larceny, right? Gavin. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. There's not much I care to discuss. Vera Misham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There are no known survivors of atroquinine poisoning, but it never hurts to hope. Right, wait. Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Many thanks. What is he up to? We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now it is time. We've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. All right. Time for Chords of Steel, baby. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Absolutely. Let's go! Something inside me, rising, surfacing. Something important, lost long ago. It's close now. So close. Gavin. Acute atroquinine poisoning. According to her physician, she could die at any time. Fuck. If she dies, I'll be so mad. Thus her absence from this courtroom today. We should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic. It's being a little harsh. Can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. Trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. Oh, good. Okay, we don't have to find it out in court. We already know it. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Masham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. I am gonna fucking kill you, Clavier. Holy shit. Objection! I actually think she succumbed to poison because it's atroquinine, you dickhead. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she could have had access to the poison. Significant, since it's rather... They're saying she is trying to kill herself? I have a million objections. The defense holds that Vera Masham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? I guess I don't really know that. And incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her killer was. I actually know both of these. Let's do how. So you saw in that clip, there was one thing she touched that might have given her the atroquinine poisoning. What a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Shut up! Is it nail polish? It's colorless. Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it. As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. It's like paint for nails. My wife has red nails. I see. So she's been painting them all this time. I love the judge. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? She was biting her nails. Whenever she became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Prosecutor Gavin, when the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice, do you know who did this? In fact, I do. He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows. Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No, just checking. Lying in court. Prison. Mr. Justice, you're about to accuse someone of poisoning the bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of the accusation. Let me show you. It's fine. Fucking make it bigger. Make it an Oko. Who poisoned Vera Masham? For some unknown reason, whoa, it was Christoph Gavin. What's this? Christoph Gavin. What's your game? My bro, there's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else. I don't know, he's in prison for killing. He is behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps 7 years ago. Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. Oh, I don't think that's true. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. He's sweating his dick off. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this, a darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay, the defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. All right, so here's the deal. Christoph Gavin tried to kill Vera in order to tie up a loose end by which he would get Phoenix Wright ejected from court, maybe for the benefit of making his brother like a star prosecutor. What I don't understand is how the Grand Marnier shit ties into this. I imagine we'll find out. Your Honor, how nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Yes. Does this bottle look familiar? Ariadone nail polish. Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet. And was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed. This nail polish was how she was poisoned. Atroquinine, was it? Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this. You're being accused again. By him. Again. And? You agree with his accusation, do you? He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows. He knows. Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I've been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too. Indeed I am. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mashams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-ex. Okay, here we go. Oh, fuck. And it's a bracelet one. Jesus Christ. Tell me, is this nail polish expensive? It's a nail polish of the highest order. Not only is it fabulously expensive, but it's made in extremely limited quantities. And you and Vera just happen to both use it? That can't be a coincidence. I'm guessing it's not a coincidence. It's simple. It's the best nail polish one can buy. So if one wanted the best nail polish, you'd buy it. Fuck. My brand name gavel. Can you still make contact with the outside world in solitary? So he had an accomplice on the outside. Is this your accusation? I'm allowed a certain modicum of letter writing. But the contents of those letters are closely checked. It would be extremely difficult to send a hit request. Jesus. Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The defendant is not dead yet. There are no known cases of someone surviving it. You seem to know a lot about atroquinine. He's going to say, I was a defense attorney. I know a lot about a lot of things, which is why I suggest we pick up the pace. Or else you'll be short one defendant for what she's worth. Claire had no reason to want to commit suicide. And also, who would commit suicide by doing their nails? The answer is quite simple. The answer is quite simple. She couldn't live with her own guilt. Next, why did she use nail polish? This too is simple, so she could die doing something that she liked. Chewing her nails. I believe it's quite easy to bring poison into a courtroom. Just watch a different ace attorney. This is the easy one. Clearly, Mr. Masham was poisoned with atroquinine as well. That really can't be a coincidence. The defense is repeating fallacious statements based on conjecture. The prosecution requests concrete, unambiguous proof of the witness's crime. Let's get perceiving. I feel like he's baiting me into perception, though. The one eye being slightly more open. Can't see his other hand. God, he looks fucking crazy in that one eye. Nothing here. Whoa! What the fuck is that? Holy shit! What the fuck is that? It was you who killed Drew Misham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father too. Your hand tensed unnaturally. A little devil appeared to give me the news. And... let's assume for the sake of argument that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? Tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. Ah. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th. I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, I don't know what is. But you found a way all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poisoned Mr. Misham. My. And here I thought you'd come so far. Well, fuck! It's not really fair. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Masham died, he was seen writing a letter. Atroquinine was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, the stamp was found in your prison cell. Oh. Tiffy, thank you for the sub. That is all, Your Honor. Wow, that was easy. Poison on the back of that stamp. After Drew Masham was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Masham write you a letter, and that's how you killed him. My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brushell's testimony. How does he know that? After he put his letter in the envelope, Mr. Masham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. A stamp. Postage stamp. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was a mere coincidence he used it that night. Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence. Indeed I do. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder. I mean, it's just a matter of time. How could anyone have known Mr. Masham would use the stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin. Okay. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier? Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were, Christoph. What are you saying? Hair forehead. What was your accusation again? That this poison stamp killed Drew Masham. Yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when he would use the stamp. Yes, that's right. Which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me. It needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Masham died by the stamp. That's all. Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Very well. I shall take his claim head on then. Justice. What? You accuse me of Drew Masham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you. What possible reason could I have to kill a painter? Are you kidding me? We have some great motives here. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So what does it mean? It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. Okay, let's see. A motive for murder? This is a vital, if not the most vital element in the case. Please consider this when making your statement. Thank you, Clavier. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Masham? The forged evidence, right? Let's try this. Ah! I want to show this evidence. Well, there's a couple of good reasons. The red envelope would be good. The notebook page would be good. Let's do the notebook page. Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Masham's studio in the first place. Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Masham accepts his first job creating forged evidence. I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifi Gramarier's diary. Ah, when attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes, this was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes, but did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney on the case was Phoenix Wright, who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it. And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Masham by the client who requested that forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than the poisoned commemorative stamp. Drew Masham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was 7 years old. 7 years old. The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery, to keep them from talking. But he made a mistake. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame where it sat for 7 years. God, if it had just been a more boring stamp. Hair forehead, do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp, and it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Masham was Phoenix Wright. Well, I think we can work our way out of this one. Sorry, but that's not how that's going to go down. Oh, then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began... And one more thing. Files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. Oh! Now here's a question. Just who was Shadi Enigmar's previous defense attorney? Why are we not calling him Zach? No, this can't all be. But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin. Order, order, order. What is the meaning of this? Witness? I mean, defendant? A former lawyer? Let me begin by denying this. It's easy enough to look up Mr. Gavin, and impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim?
Objection!
No. Hair forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence? Evidence. Evidence that shows this man requested that forgery 7 years ago. Just prove it! Oh my god! Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case. What is going on? I guess we do. Yeah. 5 minutes? But, oh, I thought we had to be there at 12:45. Oh. Well, shit. We're so close. All right, chat, I'll take a short break, and then when we're done with this, I'll come back. It'll be probably in about an hour. Sorry, chat. I'll be back soon. You bought this game legally, right? Yeah, I ripped the ISO from it. Here we go. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? The evidence does not... Okay, here we go. Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. But if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty.
Objection!
Your Honor, you do the defense in injustice. Mr. Justice is passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? Oh, fuck! Ah. Any kind of link between Christoph Gavin and Drew Masham. Something that does the job. Okay. It's got to be the yellow. It's got to be this. This evidence proves there's a link. That scrap of paper. I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hmm? Mr. Wright's handwriting. I see. I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright. When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible. This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter. When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail. Oh! Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video of a man with no authority whatsoever over claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor. As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please. The defense's claim is denied. Fuck! Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Remove the defense's evidence from the record. Fuck! We literally have nothing.
Objection!
Clavier? Only now do I understand why. Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph? Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier. What the fuck? You amuse me, Hair Forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally, you just couldn't resist, could you, Hair Wright? Resist what? Presenting evidence? Unnatural. Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence, and the next moment you call in Drew Masham. It was almost as if what? It was a setup? Funny, it didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavier. I knew because you told me. Whoo! Oh, man. It was the night before the trial. Clavier. Christoph? Odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office a day before a trial. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call in a special witness. Then... I wondered about it at the time. How did Christoph know so much? Christoph. We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me your research on the case. My, Clavier. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Okay. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramarye. Thanks for the work. Now go. Wow. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright, a second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse of a man. He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it! So the one who requested the forgery was... I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these two men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramarye deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Masham to forge that evidence so you could win? But then when you were dismissed as Zach Gramarye's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Perfectly. You're mad, Christoph! Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? It canceled when the defendant vanished. I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance, so you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. Spark Brushel felt like he was being watched. Yeah. Zach Gramarye, gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. Shady Smith, poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. That's not remotely close. What matters is the traveler was Zach Gramarye. It all started 7 years ago. The greatest magician, Magnifi Gramarier's death. Magnifi's death and his student, Zach Gramarier, the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. It was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? To keep people from talking, of course. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Atraquinine. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter saved him by taking the stamp. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she has a habit of biting her nails. That nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she refuses to leave the house. It was his insurance. As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous, bite her nails, and fucking die. That's actually kind of clever. If you're finished, may I return to my cell? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. Clavier, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the atraquinine that took Drew Misham's life. What about the bottle? The restaurant! You killed Zach Gramarier! I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was a particular fugitive. Yes, I can. Why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now. Jesus. As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent. Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence. You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. Well, I mean, that's hardly fair. Your Honor, come on! What? Oh, right. This is the first jury trial. The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers? True. Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense. There is only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. So, everything was leading to this, of course, right. Right. Holy shit. Holy fuck. I won't accept. This is no court. Law! The law is everything! You'd let ignorant swine soil your courts? Kristoff, it's over. The law is absolute? You can't be serious. Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time, and it is always changing, growing. Nurturing it is our task as human beings. Except for you, Kristoff, you aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. Jesus Christ. I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Masham accused of murdering her father. Painter Drew Masham, however, several other incidents were reviewed and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision, jurist of the court. For the death of Drew Masham, how do you find the defendant Vera Masham? Innocent or guilty? I turn now for you to consider this matter. Oh. That was weird. Oh, this is me? Holy shit! Lemmy Roar was her mom the whole time? Holy fuck! Oh my god! The first verdict under the jury system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Kristoff Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any ever heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. Jesus Christ. Oh, thank God. I mean, it was really old poison, and she probably only ingested a little, and it was diluted in the fucking... hold up. Vera, I'm so glad I... Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too. And proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about... What if Vera... Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry you had to see us like this. What? Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No! I'm sorry. Sorry that I pressed you. No. I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. When I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. Oh. Oh. Okay. Phoenix? I have no idea where he is. No. It's not like that. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize. Great. He brought all those things from me when he came to visit earlier. You mean the stack of videos? The Steel Samurais? I knew my real daddy was alive. I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. It was Mr. Hat. We may not meet again for some time, Trucy, but know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Grandmarier, after all. Seems like there's a lot of loose ends here. Oh yeah, I have no idea. You had to meet someone. Maybe it's a new mommy. It kind of is. Trucy? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Yes! It's Mr. Hat. Oh, here's Phoenix. So your memory's returned. Mr. Wright, was this all a part of your plan too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lammy Roar. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists. Ah, you're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. course it is a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone. This is so cute. No, I think they probably should know. Aw. They're very important to me, too. A little annoying at times, but still. Oh. Your bracelet. I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years, but your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Gavin's office. And then I met you. Two fates destined to intertwine, and I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore who I was away. Oh, that's why she has memory issues. During a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died. But I didn't survive the incident. That's why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Speaking of miracles, Vera Misham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken, sometimes a life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for. And that's pretty much the end of my story. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we'd found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Oh. Cords of Steel, let's go.
Objection!
It does sound better. That was so good! Oh. Where's Volant? I feel so bad for that guy. Not every day you get a trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gavinners are breaking up. The news caused a run of tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. I hope I never see this guy again. You are nothing but trouble. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam again. I don't think that's how that works. You get disbarred, you just take it again. Let's go! It is how it works! Okay, sure. Well, Phoenix is in some of the later games, right? So I was standing around eating snackoos the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch or make them ding. Ah, the power of science. That's the end of Emma's arc. She thinks of a better snackoo. Honestly epic. Everyone in the Ace Attorney games is so pretty, but Emma is truly just not fuckable. She is just a weirdo. Why are we getting the Olga follow-up? Oh, man. I do not care about this character. Emma is a child? She is not. She's 23 in this game? Oh. I miss Plum. Plum was great. So, Kataki Pastries is getting back to its eastern roots, spread the culture and all. Yo, boss, culture time! This is how we write root. Capiche? I love that his name is Big Wins. Yo, boss, PR time! Whoop. And this is how we write people. Alright? Not that Walkie's paying any attention. Oh, kids. Can we talk to Walkie? I really want to talk to Walkie. Yes. Bizoy! Man, you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real. You know what I'm saying? That's why I made the OG cracker! Yes! Holy sh... That's the funniest joke in the whole series. Oh my god. Alright, Mr. Noodleman. There's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one, too. This time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend? Eldoon's noodles is about the salt. Oh, it's the best character. My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal adoration in my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. He went sicko mode! Curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure. That's kind of true. That guy rocked. Give me some case 4 people. Oh. I guess that is Lemmy Roar. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. Would you go talk to him? Brushel here, back on the beat with another interview. Huh? How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in mint condition. And quote. Man, he ended up all right. I didn't hate Brushel by the end of this. Aw, I've decided to keep painting, originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find out what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. So why were there... We never found out why our cases were the sketches under the canvas. Why did we never find that out? Aww. Because Drew Misham was a fan of Apollo. Why? Because it looks cool. Oh, to keep an eye on the talent agency. Okay. I guess that's it. Seems like there was a lot there that wasn't resolved, especially about the Troop Grammar Yay. Like, what happened to Valen? You know, what happened to the big magic show? That was like the very start of this one. Well, I'm sure they'll resolve it later. That was fun. That was fun. Well, that's the end of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I gotta tell you, I was expecting the last day to be more climactic. Everything just sort of fell into place. By the time we got into court, everything was already decided. We made like 4 decisions total. Huh. Well, see you later. Yeah. Wait for Danny? No. Alt ending? Oh yeah, what happens if you pick guilty as Lammy Roar? I'm trying to find it. She dies. She fucking dies. I'm trying to find it. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, bad ending. We're going there now. And so a verdict was reached on October 9th. The first verdict under the juris system, a hung jury. The final verdict would have to wait for the following day. But fate had different plans. That night, defendant Vera Masham's condition worsened. She died in her hospital bed. Her verdict was postponed for eternity. I'll tell you this. The juris system, a damn sight better than the alternative. Honestly, a pretty good argument against the juris system is that it's too good, right? Like, Gavin says, what about the evidence about 400 times? And then the case ends when someone goes, what about the evidence? Fuck it. We got a jury now, dumbass. But what's his name? The police commissioner from 1-5 got to wallop us in court for a fucking week saying shit like that. Ah, well. Ugh. Damon Gant, yep. Well, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I'm sorry that I had to jump out for a little while. I just had a lot of errands that I had to run that started an hour earlier than I thought they did. I'm going to be back Monday, July 4th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be watching progression, having a lot of fun, etc., etc., etc. Dual Destinies during 24-hour stream. We may. I don't know when the 24-hour stream is going to be, but it will happen. What did you think about Apollo Justice as a whole? You know, it's weird. I think I actually did not really like 4-4. Usually the highlight of these is the fourth case, but I didn't love it. Yeah, I didn't love it. I liked, but the problem is I really liked the other 3 cases. I thought 1, 2, and 3 were incredibly good. So. I guess my problem is that I fucking hate investigations. They were just boring for me. I just don't like the investigation portions, and the only important part of that one was the investigation. I worry that there will never be anything as good as the Von Karma climax. I guess you could... I really liked the Godot stuff. Godot was just so great, but nothing's beat the Von Karma climax for me yet. All right. See ya.